And a very good morning to you, Chris Reardon with you. This is United Kingdom Talk here on United Kingdom Radio. Just gone 4 minutes past 11 here on Thursday, I can never remember the date, Thursday the 24th of February 2011. I was just listening to a little bit of Suko's show before I came on today. Now, Suko is on here on unitedkingdomradio.co.uk on Sunday afternoons at 5 o'clock UK time. And is she? I heard she's going to the Caribbean. Is that right? I mean, well, it's a big place to. What part of the Caribbean are you going to? I'm wondering. Is it Grenada or I don't know, St Lucia, Barbados? I've been very lucky. I've been to both St Lucia and Barbados as sort of long holidays, 2 weeks each. Out of the two of them, I prefer St Lucia. I find it much more green and, I don't know, more lush. Is that the word lush? Lots more trees and things like that. I liked it very much, St Lucia, so I'd be very interested to hear where you're going to, Suko. Do let us know. The email address of this show is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. You can join in by Skype if you're with us live. Once again, it's 6-7 minutes past 11 o'clock on Thursday the 24th of February 2011. If that's a time and date where you are now, then you can join in live, boys and girls. My Skype is all one word, United Kingdom Radio. Just add us there and I'll click the accept button, okay? United Kingdom Radio on the Skype. Or the phone-in number 020 3287 1488. 020 3287 1488. Perhaps you have been to a part of the Caribbean? Grenada, that kind of sounds quite nice as well. Grenada, eh? Grenada. I'd sort of touched down in Jamaica when I was on a cruise many years ago. I was only there for a few hours, and in that time I was under the impression that it wasn't particularly safe there for tourists. The way they told us to get off the boat, the cruise liner told us to remove shiny items. I found there were armed police everywhere in the little area that we went. I mean, we only went to the shops and back again, to be honest. You know, hardly Jamaica, was it? Sort of been taken to the tourist shops and then back onto the boat again. But I got the feeling it wasn't particularly safe there. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Have you been to the Caribbean? Tell me all about it, okay? Tell me all about it in an email. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. No one's reminded me to hit the record button, so I've just done that now, okay? Thank you for letting me know. I told you before, you must let me know about these things. Phil in Hoddesdon is possibly the only person with us today. I've got... I jest. Phil's not the only one there. Good news, boys and girls. Good news. Oh, by the way, I might be going to Florida towards the end of the year. I'm not keen on these people. I mean, it's my best mate, Ron, actually, and his other half. They want to go to Florida. I can go as well. And I'm not keen on these sort of long, sort of, what would you call it, long delays in going on a holiday. You know, booking months and months in advance. I don't mind sort of 2 or 3 months. Usually, when I'm going away, as you know, I've been going away in January at the moment. Been going on my holidays in January to somewhere nice and hot. And I tend to book that in October, November, when British Airways has a sale. Okay, here's a little tip for you. British Airways always has a sale around September, October, November. And you can save quite a few £100 off your holiday, or if you're just booking a flight, you know, off a flight. But it's always a good idea to sort of wait until then. Remember that, okay? British Airways sale is always around sort of September, October, November, and I saved £500 on my holiday 2 years in a row. Okay? Phil says hit the record button. You're a bit late now, to be honest, Phil. You're very late, dear. You know, get with it, for Christ's sake. I can't remember everything. There's too much to remember. So there we are. I might be going to Florida and looking forward to that, possibly September, October time. I don't know what the weather's like there then. I was told it's pleasantly warm, which is okay. You know, I don't need places to be really baking hot. Indeed, on those last few days in Sydney, it was overpoweringly hot. I mean, really, really very hot. I don't need it to be like that. Pleasantly warm is okay, sort of, 70s, anything sort of above 70s where you haven't got to wear a jumper or a hooded top. Have I got my hoodie top here? No, I haven't got my hoodie top today. Actually, I've got a new picture on my Facebook of me in a hooded top. Now, where have I put it? I'll tell you in a minute. Might be on my wall. My Facebook username is Chris Reardon. Yes, there it is. Chris Reardon UK is my Facebook name. Okay, Chris Reardon UK, if you want to join us on there. And you'll find, if you go on my wall, sort of halfway down, well, about a third of a way down the page, is a picture of me in my best mate's car. And I have a hooded top on and a pair of very dodgy-looking glasses. They are actually 3D glasses, okay? So I'm looking quite menacing on there. Chris Reardon UK is my Facebook wall. Now, very good news. I'm very, very pleased with the customer services from the small independent local retailer and grocer known as Tesco's. Yes, boys and girls, we've got one of those Tesco's is it home and wear, or where they do clothes and furniture, toys and tellies. There's no food in this particular shop. I think it's Tesco Home or something like that. Anyway, about 18 months ago, I bought a 32-inch flat screen telly for the kitchen and put it on the wall. The brand name was Teknica. Tekina. Was it either CA or KA? Teknica was the brand name. I'm assuming that it's a brand specific to Tesco's because I've never seen these for sale anywhere else. So Teknica was the name of the telly. Seemed to work okay, no problem at all. And then while I was away, and my mate was looking after my house, he turned the telly on, and it worked, and it went click, and then went off. And then that was it. Dead. Dead telly on wall. Of course, he was all very worried. I think it was a bit worried, thought that he'd broken it. But you can't really break a telly, can you? It just stops working on its own, doesn't it? So I had a little look at it when I came back, tried the fuses, all that business, nothing. So got the receipt down, and of course, you get a year's guarantee on things, don't you? After that, it's down to you, really. So I said to him, well, it's a year out of date, probably not economical to have this repaired. I said, we'll go and I'll get another one. And he said, well, why don't you write to them? I said, well, it's out of guarantee. And it is, let me think, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. It's 12, no, it's actually about 20 months old, this television. All right, so the guarantee is about 8 months out of guarantee. Anyway, I did write to actually, let me go downstairs and get the letter, okay? I'm going to pop downstairs and get the letter. You stay there a second, all right? Don't move, and I'll read it exactly to you as it is. Pardon? I'm coming. It's all right. Don't worry. We always have a bit of a moan, don't we, about customer services in various shops and that. So when we get a good one, I want to read this to you. Phil says, I got a big 46-inch Panasonic Freeview high definition Ace TV. Oh yes, I haven't got. Yes, that's the only thing. Of course, we've all gone out and bought these flat screen tellies with Freeview, and now we've got Freeview HD, haven't we, as well? Which I don't have on these tellies, unfortunately. Yes, it's time to start collecting those little black boxes again for underneath the telly, isn't it? Anyway, so here's the letter from Tesco's. Oh, hang on a minute. I haven't got my address. Oh, nearly showed my address then. There we are. From Tesco's. And it says, Dear Mr. Reardon, thank you for your reply and for taking the time to complete the form we sent. Your help is very much appreciated. Because what I did, I went into the shop that I purchased television from. And they said, well, it will be out of guarantee. But if you fill in this form, they may well help you. It's worth doing it just to see what happens. Okay? It says, I'm so sorry to learn that your Teknica TV has developed a fault. I understand how disappointing this must be for you. Well, yes, a little bit. But, you know, I mean, it's not like the television was used a lot. Being in the kitchen, I dare to say, you know, it's rarely on. I mean, it is. When I say rarely on, I don't mean once a day. More like once every couple of weeks. It hardly ever goes on. Why on earth I want a television in the kitchen, I don't know. But there we are. You know, the bracket's on the wall now. The wiring gets to the point. So might as well, you know, keep it on there. It carries on to say, as you know, we guarantee all our electrical products for 12 months, and if an item develops a fault within this time, we will be more than happy to offer either a full refund or an exchange. Yes, fair enough, and I have no doubt at all that Tesco's would do that. Although we believe that the products we sell are of the best quality that we can offer our customers, there are occasions, like this, when a product does not last as long as we would expect. Although this does not happen often, when it does, we want to offer our customers the best possible service. This is why we have a process in place that allows us the chance to give our customers a gesture of goodwill towards the original value of the products. Now, the original value of the products was £279. Okay, so, you know, not a huge amount of money. On the other hand, you know, quite a lot of money. It is quite a lot of money, nearly £300. So £279 was the price of the telly. I've had it for 18 months and it's gone wrong, okay? And the letter finishes, as products like these decrease in value over time, I'm unable to offer a full refund. However, I have requested a cheque for you to the intrinsic value of the item to the sum of £150. This should arrive within the next 21 working days. Thank you for taking the time to contact us for and on behalf of Tesco stores, Jerry Swinley. So there we are. Result. That's an absolute result. Yes, okay, it's nowhere near the £279, but it's well over half, isn't it? It's over half the value of that telly, and I'm very pleased with this because I was ready to just bin that telly, to be honest. I was ready to bin that telly. £150 from Tesco's. Fantastic. I'm very, very pleased with that service indeed. And I should probably go out and buy another telly for there. Another 32-inch job, I think. You know, my mate Ron, he thinks I should go out and buy a 3D telly. I've no interest in a 3D telly. No interest. I did go, just for the sake of it, to a demonstration in one of the shops to have a look at one of these 3D tellies. Very impressed, okay? Very impressive. You do get the depth of the picture as you're looking at this little box on the wall. But is it worth the money? Are you going to sit there and... Well, maybe if you're a television person and you sit there in front of the box for hours on end, then possibly. You know, possibly. But for myself, no, I just don't think it's worth it. 3D tellies. I also don't think they're going to take off. I can't see them selling in sort of millions. Can you? Huh? And you sit there with those glasses on. It's bad enough in the cinema. You do feel a little bit silly now, don't you? Sitting in that cinema with the 3D grid glasses on. So, fantastic. Thank you very much, Tesco. Very, very pleased. And there's always people moaning about the supermarkets, how big they're getting, how they're taking everything over. But as a customer, you know, I've no complaints whatsoever about Tesco's or Asda or Sainsbury's or Waitrose. No complaints about any of them. They're all pretty good. The staff in Sainsbury's, just up the road from me, some of them can be a bit miserable. But on the other hand, I don't think it's anything to do with Sainsbury's. You know, it's usually the young blonde girls. I don't know what that's about. It's not just the blonde one. It's usually the young girls who are on the till that dish out a little bit of attitude now and again. So I always go to someone who's sort of over the age of 40 and they're very pleasant. Very, very... What is it, girls? What is your problem? Eh? What is your problem with customers? Sometimes they serve you, and I like the way it's quite funny sometimes. I think it's only it's only Sainsbury's that do this, and they try and strike up a very false conversation with you at the till, don't they? How are you, sir? Have you had a nice day? And you think, well, what? You know, you don't even mean it. You're not interested in me, so you might as well not talk. Elderly ladies, however, always have a little bit of a conversation. They have the art of conversation, these old ladies, don't they? They absolutely do. 100 marks for Tesco's. Thank you very much. Fantastic customer service. And I would now say to you, of course, if you buy something from Tesco's, if you want to buy something from Tesco's, go ahead and do it. Because if it goes wrong, they will make an effort into helping you with your problem. £150 for a telly that no longer works. I'm very pleased with that. Very pleased with that. Merlin says, knowing luck, it will come in Tesco club card vouchers. Well, I hope not, Merlin. I haven't got a Tesco's club card. Oh, you can have so many of these blooming cards, can't you? I've got a Nectar card. That's the only one. I've got a Nectar card and a British Airways executive card. Thank you very much. Yes, I am a member of the British Airways Executive Club. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Special offers flying through me on the emails and that sort of thing. Do EasyJet have one of those? Do they have an executive club? I don't think so. Ryanair? No, I don't think so. No. British Airways, yes. Executive club, Merlin. Just think, if you were going out with me, we could be sitting on there as executive club members. I like the sound of that, don't you? Eh? Fantastic, Tesco's. Now, I did just mention... no, I'm looking at the clock. 20 past 11. I'm going to move on to the emails because we're falling behind with these. Don't forget, you can join in, boys and girls. Chris at United Kingdom Talk. I can't get comfortable on my chair today. Funny, isn't it? This is a lovely chair, this is. I've had this chair now about 11 years. It was expensive when I bought it, about £280, but it's fantastic. I say it's not comfortable. It's fantastically comfortable, and it's never fallen apart. Listen, if you're going to buy a computer chair, do not buy one of those things for 25 quid made out of plastic. It will last you a year, maybe two if you're lucky. You've got to spend the money, okay? When you're buying something, if it's too expensive, then you must save up for it. Don't buy cheap, you will buy twice. You absolutely will buy twice. As is the case of the flooring in the sports centre swimming pool that I belong to. Oh, if I could just tell you this, actually, I will write that down. I will write that down for a future show. Hang on a minute. Where's my thing? Swimming pool floor. Okay, I'm not going to start now because I'll be going on forever about that. Merlin says, how many pilots did you have to flirt with to get with EasyJet? To get the, sorry. How many pilots did you have to flirt with to get your executive club? No, I didn't, actually. I didn't, thank you very much. I'm a member of the executive club. Oh, yes, dear. Wonderful. He says, with EasyJet, they have a credit card. Well, it's hardly the same, is it? I mean, anyone can have a credit card, dear. Anyone. I've got a credit card. Yep, the number's 5127 6328 5555 9704. Expiry date 1204. How many people are going to try and order something from there now? I bet you are, aren't you? You're going to wind that little. You're going to wind the podcast of this show back. Write that number down and try and order something, aren't you? Aren't you awful? You really are. Come on, emails them. Hello to Minnie in Minnesota. It's been a while, she says. First, I just want to tell you I'm still watching and listening to the show, even if I haven't rung in recently. Well, I got word last week that my uncle's system. Now there is a bit more to this email because we just haven't got round to this email. Got word last week that my uncle's systems have begun to shut down. Her uncle has been very ill and is now well and truly dying. I figure the last thing you need is to have to glue me back together, so that's why you haven't had any calls since you got back. I do plan on ringing in again at some point, but not until I get a grip. The sad thing is Millie's uncle has now died. And he's been ill for some time. Millie's had such bad luck in the last year and a half or so. Perhaps things for her will now look up, and her uncle is, of course, now at peace. She says, you said something a few shows ago that really struck with me. You said that if there was a pill to take that would allow you to change from gay to straight, you would take it because you would like to have had children. You would have liked to have children. I feel I must comment on that. Families come in many forms. There are many gay couples and indeed many single gay people who have children. 2 examples spring to mind. Sir Elton John and David Furnish is one example. The other is Ricky Martin. I'm sure there are many others that are not known too. Well, maybe so. Maybe so. You see, I don't agree that the same sex should bring up children. I think every child deserves a mother and father. That's just me. That's my opinion of that. You know? I don't think we should have gay adoption. I don't. I think a child should have a mother and a father. That's how it is. If you want to be gay, that's fine. You know? But, I mean, you know, I am. That's fine. Okay? But I don't feel that I should adopt a child, even if I had another half. I just don't think that's right. Should be a mum and dad. A child needs a mum and a dad. I mean, is it not true that boys tend to, what's the word now? Go more towards their mothers than their fathers, and similarly, daughters tend to go towards their fathers. Is that not true? So if there were 2 men or 2 women bringing up a child, then how does that work? It's just how I am. Okay, just how I am. Also, you say there, I would like to have had children. Well, I do actually have a son. His name's Lee. But unfortunately, there's no contact there, and that's the way it is, and I kind of accept that now. He's actually in his 20s, okay? He's 25. There is no contact, but in the last couple of years, I have kind of accepted that, and that there will probably never be any contact. And I think you keep sort of hoping. You keep hoping. And then eventually you give up. I think you give up, really. Okay? And it's always there. It will always be there. You know, if it knocks on the door will be opened. Fine, no problem. But I think you have to. You get to the point where you accept. Okay, fair enough. He may never want to meet. So, and that's the way it is. Right. Millie says, I'm one that feels that a person's sexual orientation has nothing to do with one's ability to provide a child with a happy, stable and loving home. Yes, I agree with that, yes. And if I may say so, as one of your good friends who knows you very well, there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that you would be a wonderful parent. All I'm saying is please don't completely close the door on having a family. There are ways it could still happen. There are even adoption agencies that specialise in gay adoption. I've said enough for now. As usual, I send you lots of love and cuddles. And that's from Millie in Minnesota. Yeah, and as I say, Millie, I just think a child needs a mother and a father. There are plenty who would say other to that, including yourself there. That's just the way I feel about it. I think it's wrong for gay adoption. Okay. Merlin says, he's still talking about Easy. He's obsessed by EasyJet, aren't you, Merlin? Why are you obsessed by EasyJet? Is there some reason for that, lovey? He says, yeah, with EasyJet, you get to sit on the wing with your credit card. Well, perhaps the credit card, if you had 2 credit cards, it could make 2 wings, couldn't it? Just a suggestion. Phil says, I waited for the Freeview high definition until he bought flat screen. The trouble is, Phil, with technology, you know, it's always moving along. If you keep waiting for the next thing, you'd never have anything, would you? You know what I mean? It's like computers now. You know, years ago, not too long ago, every now and again the memory would double and the hard drive capacity would double. That's not happening so quickly now, is it? I don't think. So, you know, when you go buy a computer now, it lasts a long time. The computers here in this office are all, I think 2 of them are a couple of years old, and the main computer, which is the one I have a problem with, it's not a serious problem. It forgets things. It forgets settings. You know what I mean? For example, the program I use to record this show is Adobe Audition. You close the program, open it up again, and it's forgotten the settings of the shapes of the pictures on the screen. You know, and it forgets files. You know, when you open a folder and you want to sort the files in some sort of order, either alphabetically or by date modification. Well, I often use both. So sometimes I want to do it by date, the other times, and you'll set the date thing there, and you turn it off and go away and do something. And when you come back again, it's reverted to another system, to another setting. And it's most annoying, this computer. The computer is a Dell. I have to say with the Dell computers, and I've mentioned this before, they do work. They do work, right? I've not had to, touch wood, send one back for repair. But there always seems to be something not quite right. For example, this one, it forgets its settings. The Dell I've got running the video side of things for this show, that one is sometimes if I put a picture up before I start the show, it kind of flickers and flashes. Don't know why it's doing that. The laptop I have that I take around when I'm DJing, that I have to reset the audio settings every time before I start using it. And each Dell I've had always seems to have something that is not quite right with it. Other computers I've had, Toshiba, no problem at all. Never had a problem with a Toshiba, ever. Funny, isn't it? There we are. Any comments on that? Send it through, boys and girls. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Phil says, I knew HD was coming. Well, I didn't know Freeview HD was coming. He says, I agree, a child also needs a mother and a father. I do. I think a child needs a mother and a father. I really do feel that. Phil is still on XP. Oh, come on, Phil, for Christ's sake. You can't stay on that forever. You can't stay on Windows XP forever because they will stop supporting it. You'll have something go wrong and then it's not supported and then that's it. You can't stay on that forever. Move on. Windows 7 we're doing here. Oh, Zach's with us this morning as well. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, Zach. Righty-ho. Hello to Fag Ash Lil, who says, shock horror, no show. Now, she's talking, of course, about last week on Tuesday when I wasn't too clever. She says, you best be dying then. I certainly don't wish to hear that some young man you met on Valentine's Day got between you and your minions. Don't you worry about there's no one going to meet me. Will you stop doing that? There is no one. Oh, you'll meet the right person. Oh, you're not looking in the right place. Oh, stop looking and then they'll just come. No, they won't. Don't go on. You're starting to sound like my mum and nan now. Oh, there's someone for everyone. What a load of rubbish you talk sometimes, Lil. She says, while you're still able to type, and can you recheck your will? I've been trying to think what you can leave me. Please, please don't leave me your entire history of podcasts. My nerves are bad enough as it is, and I'm not sure I can take any stronger medication than I'm on. Well, I think you can. I think that's a very good idea, Lil. I shall leave you my entire collection of video and audio podcasts on hard drive. You might be able to sell those on eBay. Oh, by the way, that clock, I never got that clock. That clock eventually went for £53. Do you remember the electric clock I was bidding on eBay? £53 that went for. That was too much for an electric clock. I'm not paying that for a clock. However, I am now bidding on another one. Okay? I'm now bidding on another clock, and I've got my fingers crossed on that one. Fingers crossed on that one. Right. Let me just do that thing there. Okay. Fag Ash Lil says, I did consider your car, but I asked Jose, my latest driver, what he thought, and he said he was happy with the two big boys. That's the Roller and the Bentley. Oh, I'd like a Bentley. They're nice, aren't they? Bentley cars. We like Bentleys. And he really didn't know what he could do with your tiny little offering. I beg your pardon. Oh, you mean the small car? I beg your pardon, yeah. Your tiny little offering. So I guess the car has to go to Ron, just to see the look on his face. Yeah, he hates my car. He calls it a Coke can. All I've got is a little Toyota Aygo. But the point is, I don't worry about it getting scratched or a slight bump here on there. The seats are looking a bit worn now. The thing is 5 years old. I've now done 133,000 miles in that car. Very, very pleased with it. Him, he's got, you know, that flash BMW two-seater. I got to say, I am quite uncomfortable. It's not a comfortable car to sit in. He had a lovely Saab before that. That's the Saab he had was far, far more comfortable than this BMW he's got. Yes, it's quiet. It's very smooth. You get all these alarms going off. Bing, bing. High definition alarms. You know, not not anything sort of metallic. High definition alarms going off when you haven't got your seatbelt on and reversing and all this business. It looks lovely, this car. The roof comes down, but it is blimmin' uncomfortable in it. I'm not comfortable in that BMW at all. The problem is, right, first of all, it's very low down. So when you go, you almost fall into this car. Don't like it. Don't like it. I haven't told him that. Now, don't you go telling him that. That's a little secret between you and me, dear friends and loyal viewers and listeners of the United Kingdom Talk. Okay? He rarely listens or watches this show, so he probably won't. Don't say anything because it will upset him, because he loves the car. It's uncomfortable. I wouldn't buy one. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I wouldn't buy it. You are restricted. The worst thing, I think, is on the back of the passenger seats, right, are like two, sort of where your waist is, there are two like wings that come in and out. You push a button and these things move in and out. Well, I mean, I've got, when I get in the car in the passenger side, I push that button and these wings are on the widest setting and it's gripping me at the waist here. I mean, I'm not that fat, am I? It's gripping me at the waist. Actually, worse than that is sitting in the back. Very uncomfortable. Absolutely no space at all. And as it's a two-door car, okay, I get a bit worried that if you have an accident, well, how are you going to get out? You have to move the front seat forward and climb out over that. I do not like that at all. My nephew's got a car, actually. He's got a Vauxhall. And that's a two-door car as well. Same problem. There is no room in the back at all. Absolutely no room in the back. Not comfortable. So that the BMW, I don't know what it is. It's a two-seater convertible with the flash fold-down roof and all that business. It's all very clever. He can sit, if we're in a restaurant, Carvery or something, he can sit in there, push a button and this roof comes down. Very, very, very good. And you can sit there watching it, and people look at it. People look at it while you're in the restaurant. You watch it from that door, but not comfortable at all. Absolutely not comfortable at all. That car. Merlin says your car sounds like a budget aircraft. Well, it is, I think. I think wouldn't it be lovely? I do pretend sometimes that while I'm driving along, it's a Class 1 Starship. I do. And I start talking to the engineering room while I'm in the car on my own. Hello, Scotty, can you give me any more power, please? Aye, Captain, I'm giving it all she's got now. Does anyone else do that? And I talk to the car. Warp factor 7. And I put my foot down on the accelerator, lovey. I do. Sometimes I'll pretend it's an aeroplane. You know, and late at night, I watched, there's a long straight road, sort of, oh, do you know, I've got a pain in my arm here. I've had this pain in my arm for a few days. I don't know what it is. I don't know, pulled a muscle there or something. I don't know. Back to the email. Fag Ash Lil says, talking of Ron, I did consider asking you to leave him to me. The way he called out of the studio the other week made me think he would be the perfect choice for a new mobile footstool. But then again, I doubt that he's house-trained. Oh, he is very house-trained. He's never weed anywhere except in the toilet. There's no marks on the carpet or on the floor in the kitchen or anything like that. He's very well house-trained indeed. Doesn't leave little presents on the carpet like some animals do. Someone who is, of course, house-trained is Katie, and I would willingly take her. Unfortunately, my eldest cat may have a problem with that. Not long after we moved to this house, he started to get bullied by a female cat in the neighbourhood. I didn't think much of it, expected him to stand his ground in the end, but I was out in the garden one day, and as he came flying across the fence, took a huge leap to try and make it to the back door, but sadly got caught on the washing line. He did one full spin around before lying flat on his back on the concrete path. Oh, that poor cat. What a shame you didn't have a video of that. That would have gone viral, that video, wouldn't it? It would have gone viral. Thankfully, he was fine, but needless to say, he didn't leave the house for weeks after that, so I guess no cat then. No, you can't have Katie, dear. You can't have Katie. Oh, she's so purring and all that. Well, it looks like, in death, you have nothing to offer me, so you'd best stay alive for now. I look forward to your wit, charm and cheeky smile on Thursday, if you can be bothered to turn up. Loads of love from Lil. What do you mean if I can be bothered to turn up? Excuse me. I'm always here if I say I'm going to be here, unless I'm ill. There are other people who are here sometimes and not at other times. No names mentioned, of course. They don't tell you. I think it's rude not to turn up. And the excuses, the crap that they come out with is unbelievable. I never heard anything like it. Either do the show or don't. It's as simple as that. If you're going to do a show, be there at the same time every week, at the same time, you know, on the same day, every week, and be there. If you don't want to do it, then just fine. Don't do it anymore. End of story. It's not hard. How can you let people down? How can you let people down? It's not about what you want to do. It's about what the listeners and viewers expect. That's what it's about. People just don't get that, do they? Well, it looks like, she says, P.S. I was going to say, get well soon, but I guess that but I saw that you were stuffing your face, so you can't be that ill. Yes. On my day of illness, not last Tuesday, the Tuesday before, Ron did come round and he was expecting his carvery. Okay? So we did go out to a carvery as well. All right? I'm sure you can understand that. And I felt better after that, actually. Email here from Jennifer. What's the time? Oh, just coming up to 17 minutes. What is it time? Coming up to 17 minutes to midday on Thursday, the 24th of February, 2011. Hello to Jennifer. Hi, Chris. How are you? I'm very well, Jennifer. I'm so glad you're back from your vacation. I listened to a couple of the other presenters, but I couldn't get into them, and I felt I was cheating on you. I just adore you and your show. Yes, me too. I adore me and my show, to be honest, Jennifer. I do. As I've said before, you know, you relate to different presenters. You know, there's some people that will love Suko that hate me. It's true, people. There are people on this planet that hate me. They hate me. They hate everything I stand for. They hate the way I look. Everything, dear. I hate the way I look, to be honest. I'm sorry I've been absent for a while. I've been listening but unable to contact you. This year has started off very badly. It was my anniversary on the 1st of January and my husband didn't make it down to see me. He didn't make it down to see me for Christmas or Thanksgiving either. I was up in Oklahoma last November Oh, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down a plain. One of our other presenters is in Oklahoma. Did you know that? Stacey White. Sunday nights at 6 o'clock UK time. Yes, he's a policeman. He runs the police force in a place in Oklahoma. I was up in Oklahoma last November, but he just didn't make it a priority, I guess. His mother had been fighting cancer, and he had been up to see her for a weekend in early January. After he returned home, he was then informed she was given 4 days to live, and she passed away on February the 7th. She held on to life for 2 weeks, a strong lady, until the cancer claimed her. He was up there with her for the last week of her life, and then getting things squared away for his father. Then on January the 28th, I was leaving work and I slipped off the curb at work and broke my foot. Oh, I bet that hurt. Cool, dear. I broke a large triangular corner off the top of the 5th. What's this? Metatarsal. I don't know. What is that then, dear? Is that a bone of some sort? Do I look like a medical expert? I heard it pop too. I had to crawl back up the stairs from the parking lot and into the office lobby, screaming and crying for help. Oh, it all sounds very dramatic. My boss took me to the emergency room and discovered after the x-ray that it would require wiring and screwing the bones back together. Oh, it sounds very worrying, very worrying. Being that it happened in work comp has control over this, although there is a small delay in the way things are handled. I must say they have done an outstanding job in getting the things I need and reimbursed. I've been prescribed this huge, ugly, awkward boot that is just so hard to move around in, but it protects my foot from bumps and moving around. I was also prescribed what they call a knee walker. It's like a tricycle that I rest my knee on, and my foot hangs off the back at a 90-degree angle. And I push myself along with my left leg. Have you got any pictures of you doing this, Jennifer? I'd like to see this. Or maybe you can make a little film and send it. Have you got an iPhone or something like that? An iPhone that I can watch you pushing yourself along? I have such a complex when I first got it. I swore I wasn't taking it out in public. I have since changed my mind and absolutely love it. Everyone who sees it has something to say about how cool it is or how they wish they'd had one during their injury. The guys at work, I love it too. They always take it on their little joy rides. Do they have goes on it, do they? I'll tell you what, it's funny you should say that. I actually slipped off a curb once in New York. And it was busy as well. I mean, it's kind of always busy in New York. And I don't know, somehow my foot missed the thing, and I kind of slightly bumped a lady who was walking past, I nearly fell on the floor. Whose comment to that was, "Why don't you look where you're going?" and carried on walking. Nasty woman, horrible. Hope the same thing happened to her, and I hope no one helped her. You know. Very nasty indeed. And it's funny talking. Were you talking about just a second there? Such a complex something. Okay. She says, "Well, I had surgery now, and this pain is just about the same as it was when it was broken, just a different type of pain. I'll be laid up for at least a week until I see the doctor again." Oh dear. Would you believe that my husband has yet to make it down here to see me after all this? I understand his mum passing and all, but for God's sake, his wife is all about to have surgery. Then that surgery has happened and he is nowhere. I am so livid at him. I feel completely let down, abandoned and worthless. If you remember, I went up to be with him for 3 weeks when he had reconstructive surgery on his soldier. That's a long time ago now, isn't it? Not to mention 10 other times I have taken off to be with him for a small period of time. So can you imagine how I must be feeling? I can honestly say I'm not at priority level 1. I should be to him. Well, yeah, I suppose so, Jennifer. Oh, you know, maybe it's just our mums and dads that make us priority number 1. Is it? I'm on good painkillers. What's that? Percocet 500 milligrams, and it knocks me out. I took one from about an hour ago and feeling the sleep coming on, so I'll be signing off for now. I'll be listening, but responding will be limited until I get my life back to normal. I hope everyone's year is starting off better than mine. Take care, and I'll be in touch, from Jennifer. And she said, P.S. Sorry the grammar is awful with no capitalisations. I'm laying down and it's hard to balance the computer on my arched knee without it falling off. You'll just have to deal with it. So, ciao. And it's interesting you say that about taking this gadget out to help you with the way you walk. And it is sort of a bit funny. I remember when I was a child and I had goofy teeth. Teeth that stuck out like funny. What's up now? I had goofy teeth, and I used to go to the dentist, specialist dentist, and had to go there, I think, every 4 weeks or every 6 weeks. And I had this gadget to put on my head. It was known as the apparatus. And this thing went in your mouth, okay? And it stuck out your mouth, and you had like a band round your head. And I had to wear that at night. It's quite tight, and the idea was it gradually pulls your teeth back. I'm just trying to think how on earth I used to sleep with this thing. I don't know. I mean, I think you had to sleep on your back, did you? I can't remember. But I couldn't wear it in public. I don't think they asked you to wear it in public either. I noticed sometimes in some American TV shows that people do seem to wear these things during the daytime while they're out doing the shopping and things like that. I wonder if anyone's ever had to wear one of those as well. Anyone else had goofy teeth and had them all sorted out? Tell me all about it. What did you have? I had all the metal in my mouth, the metal railings, the whole lot. Let me know, okay? Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk is the email address. Merlin says, I was getting my teeth straightened and I bit the dentist. He was nasty. Did you really bite the dentist? How, is this recently? Or when he was a little bitty boy? Not that old now, are you? Eh? How nasty, biting a dentist. Talking of dentists, they've been ringing up, haven't they? I can tell on the mobile phone. Because they don't send their number anymore. I think it's an anonymous call. You see, and my phones don't take anonymous calls. And on the mobile, the home ones, on the mobile, it comes up as unknown. If it says unknown, I don't accept the call. And I know it's them ringing because it's round about now that I'm due for another appointment. I do put it off for as long as possible, you know. Phil says, oh, you're not buying another clock, are you? Send me the link. Oh, okay, just a minute now. Let's find the clock, because Phil's actually good at pricing-wise. He can tell me if it's overpriced. I don't think it's overpriced yet. It's about 20 quid altogether, I think, with the postage. There it is. There it is. 20 quid, that is. 1 minute. Large, vintage, there it is. Sending you a link now, Phil, for your advice, please. Thank you. There you go. I quite like, if you have a little type on eBay yourself, boys and girls, I like these Smiths electric, sort of, they're like kitchen clocks. Not the ones that you sit on the mantelpiece. There's one on there now, actually, that's there. Oh, is that actually, hang on, is that the one? Oh, no, there's two. There's another one there now. A white clock with an electric, when it's an electric clock. The reason I like these is because they have a second hand that sweeps. Rather than going tick, 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 the second hand is sweeping. So it's moving very, very smoothly as it comes around. Very nice clocks. So let's see what Phil says about that. Oh, he's answering already. He's already had a look. Let's have a look. Does that look a reasonable price to you, Phil? 20 quid, isn't it? 20 quid. Oh, so it's going to be... Oh, actually, it's a little bit more than I thought it would be. And there's another one, actually, Phil. There's another one. There's a smaller one as well. I'll send you a link to the small one as well. There's 2 clocks there. There's a large one and a smaller one. The smaller one has already got one bid in there, £15. So I can do. Can I do a watch thing? How do you do that? How do you do this watch thing on eBay? You can add to watch list. Okay, let's try that. Add to watch list. I'm not quite sure how that works. Do you get an email or something as the bids go in? I don't know. You're the highest bidder. Hang on a minute. Is that the one I applied for? Oh, I don't know now. That's a small one, isn't it? Where's the other one gone? Oh, maybe that was the one. I thought there was a second one on there. No, there is 2. Didn't I bid for that one then? I thought I bid for that one. No? Oh, no, sorry. It's the second one, Phil, not the first one. It's the second one that I've bid on. Okay? Sorry, I got that wrong. What's he going to say? Let's have a look. Is that a nice clock, that one? I do like those. You can't buy these things anymore. Everything's battery operated, isn't it? I quite like the sweep, the sweep hand on there. Merlin says, I was 21 last year. He wanted me to have the whole thing. And you know just me, I am a man-eater. I don't think you can be as bad as me, to be quite honest. Yes, definitely not. Anyway, Tuesday... this week, where's my bits of paper gone? Have I just chucked everything away? There it is. Tuesday this week, boys and girls, I went to the cinema to see a film called Sanctum. Okay, name of the film was Sanctum. Ron, I finished the show on Tuesday, and I went over to Ron's house. And, as always, we popped out for a little bite to eat. I had a pizza, I'm afraid, at a restaurant called Ask in Islington. Nice restaurant. It was okay. Bit on the pricey side. Two of us, 2 meals. 2 meals. 1, 2, 3, 4 drinks. £38. So not bad, I suppose. I had a pizza with extra cheese. Okay, with extra cheese on it. So it's quite dripping with cheese. Very, very nice indeed. So we had that. And then at night we went to see a film called Sanctum. The Greenwich IMAX gallery thing. And very good film. I thought it was all right, actually. A little bit disappointed. It's about these people, group of people that go caving. Right? Now... it's not something that I would like to do. Caving, worse than that, has got to be potholing. Why anyone would want to go down tiny little narrow holes with the possibility of getting... Because some people, you know, they're not all small, fit people like me. They're what, pardon? All right, slightly overweight. I mean, you can get caught in these holes, can't you? I think it's very, very scary doing potholing. You must be mad. And then, like, some places you can go potholing. And you have to time it so that the water's not in the hole at that any time. Because sometimes these holes fill up with water. And you've got to get out quick. Oh, my God, we can't have any of that, please. Please, no. Anyway, so this film is about these people that go down caves, and it's all very nice and that, and basically they get stuck in places, and then there's a big cyclone and loads of water's coming in, and they can't leave the way they came in, so they have to get out another way. But things happen in the cave, and I don't want to tell you too much. I won't tell you too much what happens at the end or anything like that, but... the one thing I thought it was a good film. I was looking at some of the ratings and people doing what is it? Not ratings, reviews on films and that, and it didn't get very good reviews from some people. I thought it was quite a good film. It wasn't too dark. Very nice. I mean, you know, what can you see in a cave? You know, a few rocks and a bit of water. That's all. I thought we would be seeing fish and creatures from down there, whether real creatures are like made-up monsters, you know, something like that. But there was none of that at all. It was just the people who had gone down the caves. It was the water and the caves themselves. And really, basically, that's about it. I thought it was a fairly good storyline. I enjoyed the film. And if you want to go down and see that, then I can recommend that, all right? Once again, it's called Sanctum. Don't expect to see fish or monsters or anything like that. Just people stuck down a cave. Now, Phil says, if you haven't bidded but select watch, then reminders will be emailed 12 hours before it finishes as a reminder. Well, I'll remember that then. Okay, so I've clicked the watch on there, and I shall keep that going there. And perhaps I might win that electric clock. Anyway, boys and girls, time for me to go. Now, on the watch button, on Thursdays at 12 o'clock, should be Lee Mills, but I did say that Tuesday, and he wasn't there Tuesday, so I don't know. I don't know. He might be there, he might not. Click the watch button and keep your fingers crossed. My latest non-stop music mix is now available. You can download that at chrisreardonshow.co.uk. 80 pence that'll cost you. Money for that going towards the running of the station. chrisreardonshow.co.uk. Time for me to go. Email address chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks for watching and listening. I'll see you again Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock UK time here on unitedkingdomradio.co.uk. Bye-bye.